Going live. All right. Let's make sure the volume is done here. Here we go. All right. Chat's working. People are here. I've got a bunch of empty bins in front of me. The camera's working. The microphone's working. I hope. If there's any audio or video issues, let me know. But yeah, we're here. I'm Mark Erickson. You're watching YouTube. You're watching me sort Lego. It's a Sunday sorting party. This is an experimental live stream trying to figure out what days and times and subjects work good for being on YouTube for a part of the week, an hour or so. I have my schedule cleared till 6 if I need to be, but if I'm just really cranking it out, getting all these pieces sorted, if it's going well, I'll keep going a little longer. But if it's the conversation's quieted down, I've gotten some pieces sorted, I'm a little tired, I might wrap it up then. But yeah. So, yeah, we're here. I'm really excited to get started. I got a ton of great pieces over in those two huge bins over there, but I also have some new brick that I got from Atlanta Brick Co. not too long ago. So I'm actually going to start with these because these are going to be pretty easy. They're basic bricks. The stuff in the bins is going to be all sorts of stuff, and that's why I have these cups over here, these old pick a brick cups, to try and get some of the greater selection of pieces that will be in different categories. But let's go ahead and get started here. Let's see how the chat's doing today. Geology Joe is here. Good to see you, Geology Joe. Hope you're doing well. And it's afternoon in California, I believe, because you're a couple hours it's earlier in the day for you guys over in California. My mom, Gloria Erickson, is here. Good to see you, Gloria Erickson. Morgan is here. Good to see you, Morgan. Hope you're doing well. Dust Off the Bricks is here. Good to see you, Dust Off the Bricks. Monty Raj. Drew is here. Thank you all so much for joining. And I see a couple of orange bricks in the chat, too. That means you're a member of the channel, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to start sorting. Hopefully the bricks hitting the bins doesn't provide too much audio interference for you guys, maybe a little bit. But, yeah. I had a great time on my last live stream, which was the first one I've ever done. That was a great experience. Great to build a cool, nostalgic set and chat with everybody. But at the same time, I also found it kind of distracting trying to follow instructions and chat at the same time. So because I don't know what the next step is, I have to stop and read it, and then I'm having to stop my conversation. With sorting by color, I feel like I'll be able to do a little bit more at the same time. So I'm more productive. I think it's better for how my brain works and how quickly I'm able to form a sentence while sorting brick. So, yeah. Let's see here. Intense Bricks, hello from Germany. Good to see you, Rich. Hope you're doing well. So Rich and Corey, I think, were just the two of them, went over to Germany to go to the Legoland factory store there. And they were getting really excited about all the different Lego pieces that can be bought over there for surprisingly affordable prices on most of them. So they were stocking up and going to be flying back soon. I think they went on the trip. Pretty much that was one of their main priorities, was to stop there. And that's pretty exciting stuff. I think it's actually highly recommended if you can make it out there. I haven't been yet. Steven, my brother, has. And that's a pretty cool trip from all things I've seen so far. But one day I'll make it out. But I think the last time there was an opportunity for me to go, I had to buy a car because my old beater car, which I dearly loved, finally kicked the bucket. I had to buy a new one. So that just kind of greatly interrupted my finances for just a little bit. I didn't have the time or the money to go on a little trip to Germany because it's not cheap to fly out there if you're in the United States. So, but good to hear from you, Rich. I hope you're doing well. Hope you found some great pieces out there. Yeah, very recommended. Exactly. So let's see. Chrome Vader. Good to see you, Chrome Vader. Hope you're doing well. I'm sitting here working all weekend. Oh, no. I'm sorry about that. Well, hopefully you get some time off at some point and get back to your Lego Star Wars stuff. Well, there's a brick with studs in this side. I'm going to put that right here. Brown brick. That's going to go here. And let's see. There we go. Monty Raj. Hello, Morgan. What's Morgan commented? During Grumpy's build stream, whenever he messed up and had to go back a step, I had to drink to drinking game with him. That's pretty funny. I don't think I messed up too badly on anything on the Citadel of Warland. I think I might have replaced a few pieces, like kind of adjusted a few things that I got incorrect. Yeah, I had to undo a small section, but not too bad. And that's why I like sorting, is because as long as you're doing it the way you want it, I mean, it's right? Because you're the one who decides how your collection should be sorted, so there's no wrong step, theoretically. Anyway, I find it easier to sort and talk than to try and build a set that I've never built before and talk. So, Grumpy J, good to see you, Grumpy J. Grumpy J is, I believe, currently busy at work in Orlando, and that is why he is maybe a little. I mean, you're not even 4 minutes late. Great job, Grumpy. You're still doing terrific on your schedule. But yeah, Grumpy J is busy taking care of customers and taking care of business down in Orlando. So the Brick Twins are here. Good to see the Brick Twins. There's G-Reen. What's up, Mark? How's it going? Going pretty good, man. Hope you're doing well. We got a bunch of bulk. I'm actually sorting. This is some stuff that I got at Atlanta Brick Co. recently. We dumped a lot of basic bricks into the Pick-a-Brick, and I had like $56 in store credit, and that's enough for basically 2 bins, and then I cover the last bit of it. So I got 1 bin of white, blue, azure, teal, like light aqua, a bunch of really cool minty colors. And so I don't need these for anything. I just felt like buying them because they look cool, and I don't have a ton of them. I got some over there in the blue section, which is just out of frame over here. But so I'm sorting these today. I'm having a good time. If I get this bin and this bin sorted in the next hour, I will consider this a massive success. But yeah, don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. That really helps the algorithm. I'm going to put yellow right here because we're going to sort a bunch of yellow later, I'm guessing. Let's see. Does anyone here have a spare red wizard hat bricklink number in their collection? Ooh, a wizard hat, like an old school one in red? They made those in red? I don't think I have a red one. I have probably a black one, a blue one, maybe even a dark green one. But I don't think I have a red one. That'd be an unusual color. Is sorting style the most divisive issue in LEGO? I think it's one of them, for sure. And I think it's also one of those divisive issues, that is also kind of, I think of it as a funny thing to talk about. Hopefully other people don't take it seriously to the point that it, interrupts their relationships with other LEGO fans. But I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. It's like almost a satire of a real issue, because as long as you're able to access your LEGO pieces in a manner that seems efficient to you, you're doing great. If you do anything beyond just a bucket of LEGO, congratulations, give yourself a hand. I keep it pretty simple with color sorting. It's a lot simpler than sorting by type for me. And I sort a lot of LEGO. I have to. I buy too much, and I take apart a lot of sets. I don't keep a lot of sets in place. See a lot of bulk brick right behind me here, and that has to be restocked quickly because we build a lot too. So the fast pace and high volume, I don't think I could ever do by part. That would just be just crazy for me. So. But if you have a slightly slower pace of building, and you want to have higher efficiency while building, and you don't have maybe as much time to build, maybe you have a busy work life or schedule, then sorting by part type might be for you. You never know. So I know it works well for some people. Not for me, though. Some more pieces. How are the comments doing here? Love the Atlanta Brick Co. bulk table. Yeah, Drew. I like it a lot for sure. So. G. Reen says, yeah, the red one is super rare. That was only made a few copies of. Yeah, well, it might have been a prototype, because a lot of prototype pieces were made in red for some reason. I think that was kind of the go-to color for prototype pieces. So that's probably why it's so expensive. Steve, the floor is dried up. Oh yeah, let's talk about the flood. The flood. Okay, so was it this morning? No, yesterday afternoon. I posted a video on my channel with a very clickable thumbnail. We'll put it that way. It wasn't. It was a little misleading, maybe. I wouldn't say that, but basically it was me with floodwaters up to my chest, holding my D&D set, looking very scared, and that was photoshopped. The water was only an inch high. It wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been by a long shot. Seems to be pretty much no damage. after a couple days of trying to dry everything out and keep it really dry. We mopped the floors. We got all the water out. And it hasn't rained since then. It's been very dry, sunny, and windy for the past couple days. So that has helped too. So hopefully no permanent damage. Hopefully no mold, no issues like that I have to clean up or try and deal with later. But yeah, so thankfully it went well. But you can go watch that video after the stream or right now if you want to take a break and hear a little bit more about it, basically like the timeline. But the first stream I ever did a couple days ago, it was literally that evening. It was like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And I got in at the studio Wednesday afternoon and discovered all the water. So that's kind of what happened there. So pretty crazy. And we've lived in this house and worked in this studio for like 8 or 9 years. So, you know, we've had rainstorms during that time. And it's never done that before. So that was pretty wild. But thankfully, seems like it's pretty good. There's a lot of azure blue happening here. I think this is light azure on Bricklink. You can see, let me show you guys that thing. All that sorted blue brick for, I don't know what I'm going to do with it long term. Right now, it's probably going to be filler in TRON because it's actually a pretty useful color as like an inside when it's not illuminated. But I'll be using it. And I also love this light aqua color. It's one of my favorites. Cool to see a bunch of basic bricks of that in the pick-a-brick table at Bricko. I just put 3 blue ones in the wrong bin. There you go. Let's see. Isn't the table behind you the table you pour out bricks into the fine parts? That is exactly what it is, Morgan. So this table, which is just an IKEA table, like it's like a white glossy surface of that table. We literally this screwed in some. These are actually, I believe, plastic board on the side of the table, and that means we can dump the brick there, dig through it, and then we have a dustpan which we use, which hasn't any dust in it, and we use that to scoop the brick and put it back in the bin. So I've covered that on my sorting video. I've covered that on my studio tour video a little bit. You can go watch those if you want more context for that. But I think that works terrific. I think having a little edge around the edge of your table prevents the pieces from rolling off. It's great. And I don't like to work on the ground. So that's why we like the table. Because otherwise I would just throw a beach towel or a blanket on the ground. And that basically is the same thing. You can kind of scoop it back up versus having to manually lift all the pieces out. So that one looks like it's yellowed. Let's see. Comments. I can sort by color for storage and by type for building. There you go. That's a good way to do it. Chrome Vader says, where's Moses when you need him? Yeah, exactly. Part the Red Sea for us here. But no, yeah, thankfully the flood is okay. I did start working on the D&D set a little bit, the progress of which is over there. I got the first instruction booklet of 4 done, and the inn is pretty cool. It's pretty small, though, and I'm not sure if I like the blue to purple transition on the roof. It just seems a little sudden. I would have gone all purple or all blue, but it's cool. The figures are awesome, and the accessories are awesome. The little details are awesome. Yeah, I think it's a really good set. I think that some of the color choices I'm not sure about. I think that if the build was bigger, it would make more sense. I think the designer was really being minimized. So Wes Talbot, who designed the set, I know that he made the medieval blacksmith shop, and he made a huge building. That is like 4 times the size of the inn in the D&D set. I think that he was forced to kind of work within those constraints. And that's why it looks a little unusual in some areas. But that's all speculation because I don't know the behind-the-scenes design process. But that's my thought when looking at that build compared to some other sets that he's done. Malister says, that table looks adequate for rolling dice in D&D. Yeah, I think that would actually work really well for that, too. So, and Intense Brick says, love the blues. Absolutely. And if you haven't checked out Intense Brick's Instagram, not too long ago before his Germany trip, which he's gone right now doing, he was posting updates about his giant mountain. If you want to see bulk brick in action, like on the biggest scale possible, check it out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Malister is going to be setting up our Lego D&D campaign this summer, I believe, if we can get everything worked out. Alistair, I got a couple willing volunteers for you at the store. That should be pretty fun. If it works out and I can get the technology to behave correctly, you may even see highlights from our adventure here on this YouTube channel. I don't think they'll end up on the Atlanta Brick Co. channel because Chris said that he doesn't want to do like a long format D&D type stuff on Atlanta Brick Co. He wants to keep that pretty much store related only, which I understand. But that's what we can do here, is have longer chats, more fun stuff off the clock where we're not racking up hours unnecessarily. So that's what's good about here. Brick HQ says, what about a towel on the table? That would work, Brick HQ. It's possible. I do know the scoop works pretty fast too. And I don't know if we want to use like a fabric material. I have to clean it, or would it wear out? I don't know. It's possible. That's a good, I should experiment and see if that is any improvement to what I'm doing right now. I've also seen people suggest that with this table like this, you cut a little hole in the bottom, and then you can just scoop it into the hole, and you have like a bin underneath to catch the pieces. I've seen a lot of people do that. I don't want to do that because I want to be able to fill the entire table with Lego and not have it just spill out the side. I want it to be completely contained. So, but I think that would also be quicker than scooping it out with a big dustbin. Slightly quicker. So, Geology Joe says, I use blankets on the ground for sorting, but as I get older, my back gets pretty messed up. Yeah, exactly. So as a kid, it didn't matter to sit on the ground for a while, but now I don't like doing that at all. So. The older I get, the further I like to stay away from the ground. Chrome Vader's here. I sort mostly by part type, except for parts I've set aside for specific purposes and know the color is more important than the type, i.e. when parts for snow landscape. Exactly. So you have like a landscape snowy bin, or like a desert parts bin, or maybe plants are all in one bin. Yeah, that's a good idea, Chrome Vader. Tiago did an interview video with the designers of the D&D set. Oh, there you go. Might have some more input on that one. Yeah, if you want good set reviews, you got Jang Bricks, you got Tiago, you got a bunch of other YouTubers. I like to watch Cheesy Studios. Caleb, I like his perspective on things. He does a lot of mock building, and so that's kind of where I lean into it. I'm not so much a collector, although I do collect sets. I've been working on improving my collection space. So, let's see. Chrome Vader, what's with the part minifig scale Helm's Deep leak? Oh, yeah, so Helm's Deep, huh? Interesting. You want brickheads instead of minifigs? That sounds a little far-fetched. I'd have to see the pictures. Sometimes you can tell if the leak is real or not by the pictures alone. Cross Airborne Customs is here. Good to see you, Cross Airborne Customs. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're having a Sunday stream, and I'm getting down to the bottom of the first bin. It's been 17 minutes. I'm going a little slower than I would normally because I'm kind of having a fun time chatting with the comments and reading them and talking about Lego-related stuff. But I feel really productive at the same time because I've got like half a bin of white here, a third of a bin of blue bricks, and that's pretty cool. So lots of things being accomplished today. I feel very accomplished. Let's see. Joe, it's funny when you buy bulk Lego and after sorting, you end up with all the extra debris that has been mixed in, like the erasers, buttons, pen caps, raisins, some little mysterious crusty thing. Exactly. You get all sorts of crazy stuff in bulk lots if you buy them from random places. We get some crazy stuff at Atlanta Brick Co. Let me tell you what. We found bullet casings. We found human teeth. We found just the craziest stuff. A lot of Nerf bullets, too. That's one of the most common ones, probably. But we get some weird stuff. A lot of action figures. Yeah. Whenever we get a toy that's not Lego, that is a character or figure or action figure or a little something, I try and save it out. Because I've seen Toy Story too many times. Instead of throwing it away, I like to take it and put it in a bin of just kind of action figure-esque toys. And one day I'm going to do an art project with that where I make a giant sculptural creature out of action figures. But that's a long-term project. I think we're still a couple years away, even though I've worked at Atlanta Brick Co. for a long time. Could you tell me if Rex's X-Wing microfitter is real by just searching on YouTube? That is the amount of rumors we've heard for that set and the sources that have reported it gives me a lot of, I'm pretty confident that will eventually happen. It would also be kind of funny if it happened too, because I know some people bought the Venator just because it had the Captain Rex minifigure in it, which I think you should be buying a set that large because you like, you know, the set overall. Now, for example, I like the D&D set a lot, and I think one of the main draws is the figs are super cool, but there's all sorts of other details about that set that really drew me to it, like the square doors, new parts, the bad guys, the beholder, the creatures, the owlbear, the dragon. There's so many other things besides just the one figure. So it doesn't matter if one of the figures is a little less cool in person or if they make those figures in a cheaper set, because I enjoyed the entire experience. So. Probably a tooth from trying to separate plates. Yeah, or the tooth fairy was just dropping the teeth that she had collected. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, it boggles the mind sometimes with some of those stories like that. I want to see Wedge Antilles X-Wing or Thrawn Star Destroyer. Yeah, Thrawn Star Destroyer mini build. I would be excited for that. I would buy that because I think Thrawn's a pretty cool character, and he's basically like $200+ now, kind of out of the buying range for many collectors and fans. So hopefully we get a Thrawn minifigure. I'm surprised we didn't get any figure for the Ahsoka one. Maybe they're coming out soon. I think I remember seeing some rumors about them, but we'll see. Now that I think about it, there should be more Ahsoka sets coming out this summer. But somebody let me know if I've forgotten. I see a lot of LEGO news to talk about it, though. Brick separators. We see a lot of brick separators, yeah. I got D&D set yesterday, mostly for the figs and some of the accessories. Already have put those pieces to good use. There you go, G-Ren. G-Reen? G-Reen? I'm going to call you G-Reen. My pronunciation skills are terrible. So. Closing in on this bin here, still some pieces to go. For the helmets of the Tron bad guys, you could use it. Helmets from the Ninjago red visors. Yes. So I've seen those visors. I have a couple of those in use, Brick HQ. I don't know if they have made it to any update video yet, but yes, they are exciting. So, planning on using some variety for the bad guys too. I also used the Iron Skull minifigure for some torsos and legs because that body has a very similar print to the Tron villain, the Rinsler figure, and for that reason, I'm using that one too. There's brown right there. There you go. They are perfect for it. Exactly. Yeah. There's some good combinations to be found for Tron figures, which is very cool, very encouraging. You do have to kind of look for them, though. It's not immediately obvious. So. Yeah. It takes time to make a new minifig mold. They need to add the Grand Admiral's new belly. They need to make him look kind of he's just like there's so much of him, you know. Yeah, they got an older actor to play Thrawn, which he did a great job. But I think Thrawn was younger in the series, in the animation. So there's a bit of an age gap, kind of with like how they presented Grand Moff Tarkin. So there's some differences there, I think. Yeah, you're right. What do you think about the Ultra Agents theme? I think it's pretty cool. I never got into it. I was very into Alpha Team when it came out. That was more... When I was younger, that was the thing, and I was very excited about that. But when Agents and Ultra Agents came out, I thought it was neat. I don't think I bought any of the sets, but I just kind of was like, that's a cool theme. Nice pieces, cool characters. I didn't dislike it. It'd be cool to see someone do more with it because you don't see a lot of people talking about it. I think it's kind of underrated. Look at that. We've got one bin done for our sorting party. So that is, you know, several thousand pieces right there. We can start on some different colors here. Instead of blue and white and azure, we've got black, dark tan, regular tan, nougat, and some reddish brown in there too. One bin done. Drink. There you go. Well, we've got pretty large size bins, so you won't be sipping that often. But I think it's still good. I'm going to put yellow over there. Go with tan right here. Because I got a lot of tan in this bin. And dark tan might go up here if there's nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing there. Dark tan. So I was picking brick, and the white and the azures and blues, those didn't really have any purpose other than these are good pieces. I like these colors. I'm buying them. The parts in this bin, this $30 bin that I bought, they have a really important purpose. The dark tan especially is going to be used probably in a gigantic sandworm for a Dune build this summer. So I'm going to slowly start to build up my tan reserves as much as possible, because Steven used a bit of dark tan on one of his tree guys, put a little dent in our dark tan supplies. So we'll be trying to build that back up over the summer so that we can have a giant sandworm of the scale that I want to accomplish. I basically want to do a minifig scale sandworm, at least kind of part of it emerging from a sand dune, and that's a lot of tan, a lot of tan. So I learned a little bit while building rock raiders about the volume of pieces. Nougat will go right here. There we go. And brown right there, and tan right here. And I also got a lot of black for Tron too, because I was kind of running out of black. Like these are 2x6s, 2x8s. Those are great sizes for building buildings. So, yeah. Just saw the short of you taking a crowbar to the innocent Nexo Knights. You just saw that, Master? That was last summer, I think, man. That was a while ago. But no, that was a great day. I was just happy for the rest of the week after that video, man. That was a moment to be cherished. But what Mouse was talking about is Instagram short I did of a set review of the Nexo Knights Fortress set, which is actually gifted to me years ago. And so I had that set, finally built it, and I took a crowbar to it, and it shattered into a bajillion pieces in a very controlled manner. Before I hit it, I actually carefully removed many of the pins and brick connections so that it was basically kind of like chunks of it were arrayed together. You can't really tell from the video, but once you hit it, it just vaporized. It didn't stay together, it didn't bounce around, it just went psh. So it's like those guys who do explosions for movies, and they carefully plan everything out, and they time it, and it goes boom. So they were not innocent. Yep, Intense Bricks knows what I'm talking about. He is also a big Castle fan, and Nexo Knights, it deserves all the hate that it gets. Now, I think that there are a few maybe redeeming qualities to it. I know Grumpy's not here to cheer, but there are some pieces that I like about it. I think that when I do build some Nexo Knight mocks, and I will, I'll make it a lot cooler than it ended up in the set form. I'll just say that. You should make the Saturn sandworms from Beetlejuice too. Well, they're basically the same, if you ask me. I mean, there was like, did the ones in the Beetlejuice movie have eyes? If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I saw that movie, but it was like it was just looked exactly like Dune when they stepped out there. It was hilarious. But no, I'm gonna probably be covering the shot where Paul is like running on the sand dune and jumping onto the worm as it's cutting through. Because I don't know who has seen Dune Part 2 or not, but that was an awesome movie, and that scene was very impactful. It was very cool. So trying to capture that in Lego, and also be building a microscale Arakeen, which is the biggest city on Arrakis, the Dune planet. And so that'll be pretty cool. That's gonna need a lot of tan too. I do have a lot of tan. It's actually visible right there for you guys. And so regular tan, we should be good on for sand dunes and landscaping and stuff like that. Dark tan, little less. We got a fraction of the parts we have in dark tan, so need to get more of those like these. So excited to see just plain old dark tan 2x4s in there. Yep. They seem to be all awkward and terrible without threatening anyone. I think it's the fans that have made it worse than it actually is for that mouse. The Nexo Knight fans are so devoted and annoying, and they always make me wear the Nexo armor during the streams on Friday. Yeah, it's oh my goodness. Those Nexo fans, they can be pretty intense, you know what I'm saying? They're a pretty rowdy bunch. Where did I put regular green? I don't think I put it anywhere. I'm going to put it right there. Yeah. Let's see. Wits Bricks. Oh, that's Carter. Good to see you, Carter. Hope you're doing well. Who would you say are some of your favorite Lego builders in the online community? Tyler, Sean? Yes. So I have a lot of favorites. When I was a very young builder, I was highly influenced by the works of Durful Cadarn and Blake Bear. Tyler had a few builds in there too. Nanan Z, extremely talented. Bruce Lowell. Tyler and Bruce's Iron Builder match was so inspirational as a young AFOL getting into Lego building, and that was really cool. So, and then let's see. There's a lot of builders that I go to at conventions. I see them. So more recently, just I think Martin Harris. He's a great builder. Stefan builds Lego on Instagram. He does the new Hashima. Simon, of course. My whole life I've known Simon. Well, building Lego the past 13 odd years. So Simon Liu, he builds amazing mechs and vehicles. So lots of great builders in the community. Let's see, comments. Still talking about whether Nexo Knights are evil or not. They're evil. I mean, let's all accept it. They're evil, and we can move on. That's funny. Whenever I do anything, there's always Nexo Knights is somehow part of the discussion. I think I've done more for Nexo Knights by publicly despising them than just ignoring them. I think I've brought Nexo Knights into the conversation more than if I had not mentioned them. But that's life for you. It's good. Where am I putting orange? Orange. There's orange right there. Brick HQ says, Ultra Agents is my favorite retired theme. I unfortunately missed out on it. Right now, I'm working on getting all the sets. Well, Brick HQ, if you're looking for sealed copies, we have a couple of those at Atlanta Brick Co. right now. Some of the smaller or medium sets. I don't think we have too many of the big ones. Maybe we do. But check it out on our website, atlbrick.com. But yeah, good luck on your search. I am trying to complete Adventurers and Exoforce. And once I get those done, I can start looking at other themes. But yeah, doing quite well on Exoforce. There's only one or two more. Adventurers, there's a few more that I have to get. A couple big ones too, which is unfortunate. But they might come into the store soon. We'll see. Nexo Knight shields, though. Okay, so the Nexo Knight pieces are good. And they brought back Trans Neon Orange. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. So, yeah, they did some good things, but I think overall it was bad. I still think Nexo Knights is a pretty bad theme. I haven't seen the show because that would probably mess me up, I think. That would be a bad day. So I tried to watch Chima, and I couldn't get through Chima, and I can get through a lot of stuff. I watched the old Dune. I've watched Galador, both seasons, no problem. I mean, it was bad, but I could get through it. So I don't know if I can handle Nexo Knights, though. Apparently, it's like meh, even from people who like Nexo Knights. So it could be really bad, and we might not know it. I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk. You know what I'm saying? Be right back. I'm going to get the rest of my clones and base plates to place down my clone army. There you go, Cross Airborne Customs. That sounds pretty cool. I have a small clone army myself, mostly modern clone troopers. Everything after the 501st Battle Pack. When that came back out, I figured, hey, well, while they're current and retail price, I'll buy at least one or two of each clone pack that I see and make a little clone army. And I haven't regretted it, although I don't have a good place to display them right now. Maybe that'll be something I rotate into the display schedule at some point. So. Do you have a discount code for Atlanta Brick Co? I don't, Brick HQ. But one thing I can do for you is encourage you to join our memberships program, our rewards point program. If you do that, you get a point for every dollar you spend. And once you get over 100 points, you can redeem it for $5 off. So it's like getting 5% off over long term. And I've been a part of that program ever since it started, like 6-7 years ago. And I use points a lot. And I think that's a big help. So it's like 5% off. Small discount there. Oh, T Valkyrie dropping the TRON emoji. I love it. Some custom emojis for our members. Let's see. Oh, Grumpy J's back. Nexo shields are a great piece to use for mocks like Oh. Ooh, Grumpy J. Got me with that one. Yeah, so I could bring it over once we get through this bin. We're like maybe past halfway on this bin at 30 minutes in. Yeah, I use a lot of. Are they somewhere around here? I have a whole bin. There they are. I got to show you guys this. Hold on one second. Okay. So I dunk on Nexo Knights a lot, right? I'm a big Nexo hater. Everyone knows that. But I have an entire bin of Nexo shield pieces in the new trans satin light blue color, or trans opalescent light blue. And these are awesome. It's a very cool color. I think they were originally made for the Elsa's Ice Castle. I got these on Lugbook for a pretty cheap price. I'm not allowed to say exactly how much, but it was a lot less than you would normally have to spend. And these are great. And I've been using them inside the Tron scene now because they are great at kind of spreading around the light, refracting the light. And instead of having it go straight through, they break it up nicely and it makes it glow more. It seems to glow more versus like shining out at you. So yeah, Nexo Knights was terrible, but they did one thing right, at least in the shape of these pieces. So I don't think they can get credit for the satin color, though. That, I think, is just LEGO deciding to do that. Because LEGO can make whatever color they want, but they're just trying to keep it very systematic and organized. So. Oh, Geology Joe dropping the crystal emoji. That's pretty cool. I might be at enough members to add a new emoji. It's unfortunately, the amount of emojis you can put out are determined by how many members you join. So if people join the membership program, I could put more emojis out there, and we could put some cool little emojis you can type in. Chris McBricker's here. Good to see you, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Yep, great color, exactly. And the color of those, that satin, anything satin, I'm a big fan of. So that's a delicious looking piece. Exactly. It's cool for specific uses. I think that I didn't really know what I was buying those for a couple years ago. I'm like, that looks like a cool piece. I think I can buy that and do something with it. And it turns out it did. Kind of like me buying these white and blue bricks for I don't know what, but I just know that's a cool color, and I'll probably use it at some point. So. Those tiles are used in the set of Harry Potter's Buck Spirit thing. The Patronus set. Yes, that they are. I think that Patronus set could have benefited from more of that color. A lot of that Patronus set is built with these kind of medium blue bricks, and it looks cool, but it also looks a little too solid color for me. It should be more ethereal. But yeah. Oh, interesting. I'll get my 76-year-old dad to join. He's newly minted airfoil. I'll get him into the hobby recently to help him keep his mind sharp and his hands dexterous. So Lego's actually good for you if you're not on the floor sorting Lego. It's good for your mind to build and collect. It's like a puzzle. Even if you just buy and build a few sets, it's actually good for your mind to work on little things like that. So it's actually recommended for people, especially if you're getting a little older and want to just maintain it, not lose it. So it's interesting how that works out. We got plenty of dark tan. Quite a bit of black here. This is a lot of black brick. I'm excited because I'm going to be starting work on the bridge soon after I finish the lighting in the triangle tower, or the pulse tower, I'm going to call it. So a lot of black brick is good. Are we at 21 likes? That's awesome. Yeah, and if you haven't liked already, go ahead and like the video. That helps the algorithm a lot. The last stream we did got like 600 views after a couple days of people tuning in after the fact to watch the replay. And that's really good. That's fantastic. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining today, too. It's been great to chat so far. Having a really fun time. I'm liking sorting a lot better than building a set because I can stop and talk, and I don't have to think too hard about where each piece is going once I get the groove going. So I think I'll be doing sorting more often than sets here moving forward. And a lot of people do live set build streams, and I don't want to crowd in on other people's content styles. I want to kind of do my own thing, be unique. So I think you don't see a lot of people just cover themselves sorting. I think this is a newish market. There's probably at least a few other people that do it, but I don't see it a lot. So I think that there's more to be added to this conversation here. You know what I'm saying? Mark, you should get a Lego Castle armor for the studio streams. So I have one piece of armor. It's a Royal Knights armor. It has the King Leo shield on there. It's like a gray square. It's really basic looking. It's foam. I got it for like $10 at a convention one time, and I haven't had a chance to bring it out on a stream. It barely fits, of course. So I'll have to figure out a use for that. It's in the studio. I can maybe show it off next live stream. This week I could break it out instead of the Nexo armor and like pretend to oh yeah, here's the Nexo armor. Let's put it on, try it out. That would be funny. Get back at them a little bit. That'd be good. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Mess with them a little bit. What's the most viewed ABC video? It's definitely going to be Intense Bricks' Castle Tour, which has over 100,000 views, which is very good. That's well above our usual, which is anywhere from 500 to 1,000. That's kind of our average. But we have some good ones. I think our convention live streams do really well. We'll walk around for an hour at whatever convention Atlanta Brico or me happen to be at. And we'll do that instead of a Friday store tour sometimes. So the most recent one was of Atlanta BrickCon, and that one went really well. We finally got all the tech issues out of the way, and you could actually hear and see what was going on. So that was good. But so those do pretty well. And then before we did Rich's collection, that was the biggest one, of course. But before we did that one, there was also, we really well documented a trip down to Florida to pick up a giant collection. I think it was like the $100,000 Lego collection. It was about that much to buy it all, though. That's pretty legit. But that was our biggest video for that, and that had, I think, like 20,000 views at the time. Now it's probably more like 30 or 40. I'd have to look at it again. It's been a few years. But that was a pretty big deal, too. And I remember our store was just stuffed with sets after that, and it was quite a day. We sold all of them within a year, all the sets that we bought. So we can't wait to visit Orlando Brick Co. It looks pretty awesome. I was looking at Grumpy J's Instagram just before starting the stream, and they had tons of people shopping. I saw Daniel, Joe, Joey. I didn't see Grumpy J because he's probably behind the camera. But it was looking super exciting. I'm going to be visiting sometime in June. Early June, mid-June. I'm going to a convention in June in Florida. Like, it might be even in Orlando. I'll have to check. But I'll be there. And that'll be fun. Oh my gosh. Morgan, you ready? Oh, bin number 2. Bin number 2 is done. So that was the bulk that I had planned, just to separate from the 2 big bins. Now I can pull some bulk either from the big bins, or there's one other medium bin I can sort from. We're at 42 minutes streaming, so I definitely want to go for another 20 minutes or so. Yeah, let me grab that next bin and get started. So, hold on one second. So we still haven't even gotten to the big buckets yet, because these 3 bins were sitting on top of it. But this is pieces from the was it the 90th anniversary Creator Classic set, I believe. I got 3 copies of those, 2 or 3 copies, because if you bought enough, I think it was bought $50 or more on not Amazon, Walmart.com, you could get a little Lego Masters trophy gift with purchase if you sent them the receipt. And I did that a couple times for me and Steven. And because of that, we both got a little Lego Masters brick and a little Lego Masters trophy. I think Morgan has one on display in his Lego room, actually. He sent me pictures of it. But because of that, these sets were on sale. I think they were $20 or $30 instead of their normal $50, I think. I'd have to double check all the numbers on that. But it was a good deal. And I got all these pieces. And they're all new pieces and good basic bricks and colors and stuff. So these will be sorted in. That's what I'm going to get started on now. There is a lot of tan in here, which is good. There's some grays, too. Grays are always good. I do plan on revisiting Rock Raiders one day. I've spent a lot on purple crystals the past few. They're going to be long-term getting here in lug bulk for this year, as well as I think Rich is picking up some purple crystals for me in Germany right now. And that is exciting because I have never gotten any of the satin trans purple crystals other than the city sets. I think I have like 4 or 5 total. And you know how I like crystals, right? I have a whole bin of crystals up there that's out of frame. And so I am excited about that. Green brick goes there. Blue brick goes here. White goes here. These pieces are a bit more fine grained. They're not so big and bulky, so it'll be a little slower moving forward. But that's okay. I still haven't visited ABC in Georgia, hoping to go to Brick Fair VA first convention. So try to swing through ABC on that trip if I can make it. Yeah, if it's anywhere on the way, Chrome Vader, definitely worth visiting. Fall Equinox is here. Good to see you, Fall Equinox. Hope you're doing well. Morgan says, yeah, my mini LM trophy has a round tile signed by you guys. Exactly. I remember we got that signed and sent out to you, Morgan. That was awesome. Let's see. I got from Walmart the Lego Masters set gift with purchase another time, the classic set for $25. Yeah, exactly. The little gift with purchase. It was free if you spent, I think it was over 25 or 40. It was a small amount for a nice little set, so it was worth doing. Purple. Where am I going to put purple? Purple. Go right there. Dark blue. Red. Red goes there. There we go. Well, how is everyone doing today? Having a good Sunday afternoon/evening, depending on where you are. I'm doing pretty good. Sorting some Lego. Feeling pretty good so far. I might take a sip of water here in a second. See what the comments are saying. You've got a lot coming, my friend. Oh, man. Rich, I'm excited about those purple crystals. I might actually... Hold on. Let me grab my crystal bin. I'll just show you guys while we're doing this. It's right over there. Hold on. You'll like it. Let me take a sip of water first real quick. My voice feels pretty good, though. Not too dry. All right. So this is the pieces that have been pulled from Rock Raiders so far. You got a bunch on the bottom there. That was all in the build. The stuff in the bags was not used in the build. So that wasn't used in the build. Most of that is from BJ. He actually gave this to me. I got a bunch of these red crystals here that weren't used in the geodes in the build, so I could make an even bigger red geode. These icy blue ones are super cool. But I don't have any purple in here. So I'm expecting a bit from Germany and a lot from Lugbulk. I ordered, I think it was 1,700 pieces in that particular shape and color. So looking forward to that. Won't have to sort those. So. I'm building the A-frame will be used in my comic. Nice. Fall Equinox. The A-frame is such a cool looking set. I've seen them built at Atlanta Brick Co. a couple times, and I've always been tempted to buy one. But I also have like no space for kind of, it's more of a modern architectural building, city type thing. So I don't know. It doesn't really fit with my current collection vibe, you know. I do have some classic town, but not modern town. Modern city. Eludes me. There's a lot of comments. Let me see if I can read a couple of them. How do you feel about the Lego making larger castle medieval sets rather than a theme of play sets? So, Carter, I think I was, first of all, like shocked when they came out with the big castle because I thought it was going to be like kind of small and pathetic. But the 90th anniversary Lion Knight's castle is awesome. It is out of the price range for most people. So I'm glad that they've done with some gift with purchases. I'm annoyed that they're a gift with purchase, like the Forest Guardians Hideout and Magisto's Workshop. Those could have easily been $20 or $30 sets. Should have been, but they weren't, and that's the decision. The Medieval Blacksmith Shop's a little expensive, but I think that's much more achievable than the big Lion Knight's castle. So that was good. I think it's retiring soon. The Creator 3-in-1 castle is great. It's $100. Basic castle for kids. Nice. Get a couple of them. Build your own. And then they also made the D&D set. They're making a lot of Bricklink castle sets. So castle is alive and well. And they also released all the shields and torsos and horse barding and all that stuff on bricks and pieces on Lego.com. And I think it's still available. So you were able to build castle armies pretty easily. I spent way too much money doing that. And so it's like Castle's been brought to life, and you can find your own way to it. It's not as convenient as it could have been. I would have loved to see just a basic Castle line. But if this is more successful for Lego because they're making big, expensive sets or gift with purchases to make you spend more money, or they're selling it by the piece on Lego.com for a little bit overpriced, we're still buying it because we love Castle. I think they're making a lot more money than if they would have done a normal set theme, and probably selling better. So I think it's a win-win, mostly in Lego's favor, but I'm not going to complain too much because this is already way more Castle than I expected to see after like a 7-year drought of Castle, totally. So I think it's good overall. And if people keep buying these Castle sets, they could easily come out with a Castle theme at some point. I'm just worried they would try to make it Ninjagoified and make it too kiddie and not fun. They would basically do what Nexo Knights did and fail again, which would be annoying. If they took it seriously and like gave it the art style of like the D&D sets, or some of like the Medieval Blacksmith Shop is a great set, great design of features. So if they keep it more like that, I think people will go crazy for it. It'll sell well. But if they try to make it like the 2013 Castle line and just kind of juniorize it, it won't do well. But we'll see. Museum is next on our list. Larger builds, maybe early summer. There you go. The museum looks really cool. I especially like how it seems to have Adventurers Easter eggs. So if you know the Adventurers Lego theme, that set looks particularly exciting. Brick Twins. So that's a pretty neat one. Let's look at the comments. There's so many comments. Thank you all so much for joining. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. It helps the algorithm. It's great. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm trying to get this channel up to, we just passed 3,000 subscribers, which is great. So I really appreciate that. And if I get a certain amount of watch hours, then I can make money off of the ads too. So that's what I'm trying to work on for this month. So. And if I get a little money off of the channel, that means I can invest more on big builds like TRON and Dune. So that's exciting to me. So I already spend a lot on those things. I think I spent already about $400, $600 on TRON with tiles and stuff. Let's see, Geology Joe. It's a wonderful set, very fun to build. Yes, I know Geology Joe has the museum set, and that's a pretty cool one. So I'm gonna put plants right there and animals right there. More plants. There you go. Some blue bricks. Oh, and a gray brick. Speaking of adventurers, the pieces that I'm sorting right now have some very adventurers style prints on there. That's like straight out of the adventurers stuff. Different designs, of course. I just built an adventurers set up here for my display. You can see that in my flood update video I posted yesterday. And this is cool to see. I'm excited that they continue to print stuff and kind of throw back to adventurers, even if I don't think we'll ever see any sets related to it. So I think that it's just the problem with adventurers was they were a fun set theme, but they also were like, they're literally stealing artifacts to bring back to their own museums in their own country, not really respecting the local, the people, cultures, traditions there. So it's kind of they're exploiting the natives, and I think that's just, there's no way to make it make sense, you know. It's kind of like the British Museum paradox. You like the British Museum because it's got all this cool stuff, but all that cool stuff kind of came from somewhere else, and they might want it. So yeah, I remember writing a paper about that in college. That was fun. Yeah, adventurers never coming back. Let's see. Or modern Nexo Knight revival, a reboot with redcoats. Pairing failures equates to success. There you go. Lego would make tons more money if they just made small custom sets like battle packs. Oh yeah, if they made a medieval battle pack with a bunch of cool knights and stuff, yeah, they would be selling as much, if not more, than clones. I think they'd be like just as popular. But yeah, I don't know why they don't embrace that huge fandom. Because people will build, they have whole garages full of Castle guys just lined up. They buy them all on Bricklink. That's why they're all $90 on Bricklink, certain Castle figures. And yeah, Lego could totally make battle packs for that fan base too. they've kind of come around on clones, so maybe they'll come around on Castle Knight Army collections too. So we'll see. The Lego Link is here. Good to see you, Lego Link. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Drop a like if you feel inclined. Where did I put the pink bricks? Oh, there's purple. That's going to be pink now. Green goes right there. Yeah, my friend Rich, Intense Bricks, is always telling me to get different bins besides these cups because the cups are just a little higher up. They're harder to reach into. You can't quite see what's inside unless you fill them up halfway. So I can see where he's coming from, but I also like to use the classic Lego Pick-a-Brick cups because there's like nostalgia. They're cool looking. I don't know. We'll see. I might go to Target or wherever and get some sorting trays. So. Let's see. That's like Indiana Jones. Thiefer with a good heart. Exactly. Yeah. He wasn't like doing it out of the wrong reasons. He was trying to retrieve these artifacts for the right reasons, but I think it's still it's hard to justify or explain. I think it's more problematic now than it was back then. Let's put it that way. We're more aware of certain things. So. Yeah, I remember enjoying adventure sets a lot as a kid, especially when they got to the dinosaurs, because I loved dinosaurs as a kid too. I played with dinosaur little plastic figures a lot before getting into Lego as a little kid, and so the Dino Island theme was very exciting for me. That was basically a ripoff of Jurassic Park at the time, but it was pretty cool. So. I still need to get a lot of Dino Island sets. I think I need to get the Research Compound, a couple more for sure. So I know Daniel's got that set. My friend coworker Daniel, he's got that one. It's pretty ugly looking, but it's part of the Adventurers line, and I have to collect it. So that's one of the themes I'm working on. So. Malister says, battle packs need to be like the latest clone/droid one. They need more minis, less builds, or have a build-heavy battle pack and a mini-heavy one simultaneously. Yeah, so that latest Clone Trooper Phase 2 pack is a great example, right? It's got some nice little builds. It's got a few bags of parts, and they're like a robot, so it's easy. It looks good. But then you have just a bunch of nice figures. You have some droids. You have some Clone Troopers. I got that pack. I think I want to get a second one at some point. And yeah, they could easily do that with Castle. Give them a little tree outpost or a little barricade or something to go with them. And then, boom, you can sell a lot of those. A lot of those. For sure. Here's some light gray. Well, this bin is going pretty well. But the pieces are a lot smaller and more complicated, so it's going to take a little bit more time. I'll try to finish this spin. We're almost at an hour, at 57 minutes of streaming. So we've already just about made our goal, which is to get through a couple bins and stream for an hour. But I'm going to try to get through this and push it, maybe do an hour 20, however long it takes to get this done. And then I'll probably wrap it up for today because I have to make dinner and eat dinner. And might work on TRON a little bit this evening. We'll see. So already did a lot of building today. Enough to justify a video for next week, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. I was sorting one by one round tiles. Oh my goodness. Exactly. Drew says, got my spring trays in the cheap section in the front of Target. They're great. Exactly. The little box things, little trays. I may have to break down and go get some of those if I do more of these, because these big bins are good. But these are a little less good if I'm not like right up next to it. I can see the pieces in here, but I can't see them if I'm just kind of sitting back here relaxed with a bin in my lap. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll work on the ergonomics of this system. One thing I do know is that I find sorting and chatting easy enough on my poor dyslexic brain. So I think this is going to be something I can do more of in the future. You guys can tune in and chat and listen if you like to. So far, this has been going great. So. Mm-hmm. Try again, Geography Joe? Maybe auto-corrected the Geography Joe. Or maybe that's part of the joke. The Brick Twin says, where do you draw your inspiration for your mocks? We've been working on a lot lately on creating new builds and really challenging ourselves. There you go. So inspiration for mocks. Let's see. The first thing is, what is it for? So I'm trying to do a lot of builds for conventions because I'm kind of part of the featured artists for Brick Fan Expo, which does like 5 to 6 events around the Southeast. And so I need something cool to bring to show that I can build with Lego, right? So Rock Raiders was one idea, and it was just kind of nostalgic. I liked Rock Raiders as a kid, wanted to kind of feature them, thought they were a little underrated. And so that was what inspired that build, wanted to build kind of like an ant farm. TRON, I've wanted to build TRON for a long time just because I think it's a cool environment. I was originally going to have just kind of like a castle tower build to it, and then it kind of got canceled because I went on Lego Masters, which is fine. Lego Masters is great, obviously went pretty well for me. But then the TRON project is now evolved into the size of a convention build, which is an 8-foot table. So it's gotten from a cool tower build to a city build. So it's like a whole cityscape. So it just kind of evolves to fit what you need it to do. Like if you're at home building creations for the first time, I'd recommend sticking to green base plate, gray base plate as like your starting point for your size. And then just kind of fill in the gaps, fill in that canvas. So you're building your museum, maybe make a park to go next to the museum. Start with a little landscape, some trees, park benches, a little fountain or pond. You can start kind of branching off of things you like or have nostalgia for. So, but that's my advice. Inspiration takes many forms. Let's see. Yes, your TRON is awesome. We love those videos. Oh, thank you guys. Appreciate you watching. Morgan says, Mark, do you need an Exoforce Aero Booster? So I've got, I think, 2 or 3 of those. They're one of my favorite sets. But yeah, I've got a couple of those. I think I'm good on those. So unless you like really need to get rid of it, in which case I'll probably still buy it because that's a good set. It's especially cool because it's the smallest size of mech. I think if I'm remembering the right one you're talking about, it's a little blue mech, which is it's like holding a gun. And it's got this gigantic backpack that's just like this huge jet. And he's just kind of strapped to the back. It looks absurd. It has a handle so that it can actually stand up. And yeah, that's one of my favorite sets. Yeah. It has this huge engine in the back. Yeah, exactly. It's a great set. I love that one. That's probably one of my top 3 Exoforce sets. And Exoforce is one of my favorite themes. So. Yeah, Exoforce is so underrated. If you want to learn more about Exoforce, go watch Cheesy Studios' great recap of the theme. And there's also a channel called Battle Peak, and they're covering each set in detail. And that is worth watching too. I've been keeping up with those two. So. Highly encourage you to check out Exoforce. Give it a chance because it's like kind of anime style, but it's just cool mechs and stuff. Like it was the precursor to Ninjago in a couple ways. So. That's the only Exo I own. There you go. That's a good one to own, Morgan. That's a pretty cool set. It's one of my faves. And I never had that as a kid. I always just kind of wished I had that one. I had a couple Exoforce sets as a kid, but not that many. Maybe like 3 or 4. But they were awesome. I don't think Lego will ever lean back into Exoforce too much because it is kind of battle related and they're trying to be more creative, more explore, more that kind of stuff. They're trying to avoid trench warfare is basically what they're doing. And I get it. Inspiring kids to be creative, not violent. So, yeah. Dust Off the Brick says, Joe, I will use molded animals. Yeah, so Dust Off the Bricks is working on a zoo build, and that looks pretty cool. You got different places for the different zoo animals. He's got a pretty good animal collection. You can check it out on his channel. The Brick Twin says, about 5 years ago, we stumbled upon Jang Bricks, and he has a mock mall 2-story, and we were in awe. And since then, we've really tried to create our own mocks. He was one of the first to inspire us. There you go, Brick Twins. Jang does some cool mocks, actually. He has a great city display he's always working on and changing. And, yeah, great way to start. So. And Jang's a pretty cool guy, too. I don't know him that well. I just watched some of his videos, but I've always been a fan. Yep, I got my start in the Flickr community, which is still technically there, but it's definitely not what it used to be. Most of the builders there have moved to Instagram or Facebook or off of social media completely. But in its heyday, there was thousands and thousands of builders all posting their Lego creations, hosting contests. Contests were where it was at back then. There was something going on every month if you wanted to compete and win stuff. That's what me and Steven did for a couple years. We just loved to enter contests and the thrill of winning, you know. And you might even win a little Lego for your spare time being used that way. So it's pretty fun. Yeah. I remember hosting a lot of contests over Flickr too. I hosted a couple years in a row the Colossal Battle Contest, and I got some great entries from people. So a lot of good stuff back then. I ran out of space for a petting zoo, so unfortunately no goats. There you go. Do you have any of the new goats, Dusty? Those would probably work well for a petting zoo if you wanted to expand later. The old goats, you might have to pay more to pet those. Or even see them. Nothing inspires creativity like the heat of battle. Onwards to war Lego. Exactly, yeah, I loved battle-themed creations. One time, an old friend of mine who's still active on Instagram and stuff, he described my builds as, he's like, you make such beautiful landscapes for all your minifigs to die on, to unalive on, because they were always having these huge battles, and yeah, there were some casualties, I'm sure. I don't know the exact numbers, but if you go back and look at some of my old stuff on Flickr, or even in some of my older Instagram posts, you see a lot more battle-related stuff. Now it's mostly about like kind of big theme displays. I go big now. So. Well, we're at 106. We're past an hour of streaming now. All the devices seem pretty good. We still have 30 people watching as far as my stats show. 29 likes. Thank you all so much. And we're going to go for a little bit longer. I bet you I could finish this bin and give Morgan one more sip on his drink. I think we can make that happen. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in another 20 minutes. So. Oh, nice. Morgan gifted 10 Marco Falworth memberships? That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it, Morgan. And now all of those people watching who were randomly selected can now use their emojis. And you should have a little cool brick next to your name. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan. And for those who weren't members before, you can now go check out a bunch of posts on the community tab. I've been posting at least once a week, sometimes twice a week on Lego TRON. You also see at least one members-only video. I'll be doing another members-only video this month, too. And then once the summer hits, May, I'll be going to conventions, and we'll see what kind of members-only video I can do then. We'll see. So, no promises. So. Yeah, Morgan dropping all the emojis. Looks great. So. That's awesome. There you go. Malister's part of the club now. And I called it the memberships program the Mark Fan Club because I didn't know what else to call it. I'm like, it's the Mark Fan Club for now. If you have a better name, let me know. But that's what it is for now. So I'm totally willing to change it if a more witty or interesting name is suggested. So. I think it's kind of goofy as it is. So. Yeah, these pieces are all small sizes and different colors. It's getting a little slower as we go because of the size, the grain of the pieces. So. Well, thank you again, Morgan, for gifting those. Thank you. I don't know if Malister just joined at his own volition or if he was part of the membership gifting. But thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it, guys. So. Add a few more orange there. Yeah, I talked about this on the Instagram stream, and I'll probably do some Instagram stream in the future, maybe more like a 30 or 40-minute session. And those, the last time I was doing one on Instagram, I talked about my plans to make Nexo Knights better. I can reiterate that if you guys want, or we can talk about something else. But that was a pretty cool idea. Well, I feel like talking about it because I still got an extra at least 10 minutes more of sorting, maybe more. Nexo Knights is pretty cool, but I think that it could be better. It could be bigger. I also think Shima was okay. It had some things that were all right about it, but it kind of missed the mark like Nexo Knights did. Didn't succeed like Lego wanted it to, I think. The solution to that is making it giant, big space mechs and stuff. So the Nexo Knights would be like basically the Power Rangers / Voltron / Transformers, and it'd be awesome. And then the Shima Warriors would turn into basically like gigantic skyscraper pushing kaiju, Godzilla, Thundercats, all those vibes. And I would be building all these giant monsters with a friend of mine whose name is Adam. He works at the Lego store in the north side of Atlanta. He makes a lot of big mechs, and I've asked him to, like, when I get around to this, help me figure out how to do some of the joints and some of the technical parts, because I've never really built anything bigger than a small mech. So, yeah, I think that'd be pretty exciting. So. What about Mark's Squad, Mark of Falworth? That's pretty good. Mark's Squad. I like that. Mark's Battalion. That's a little militaristic, too. But I kind of like that vibe, though. That's a good one. I did it on my own. I just figured out you had a clubs. I am slow since I have RSV again. Oh, there you go, Master. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. And now you can have access to all those emojis. You have a cool brick next to your name. And you can see a lot of behind the scenes from TRON. I actually posted a big, like, wide shot picture of the entire layout up to this point. And it's starting to look really impressive. I don't like to brag, but I just think it's really exciting. I rarely get chills when building my own creations and looking at them and photographing them, but that was a cool moment. So. Or Round Table of Falworth. I like that too, Morgan. That's good. Round Table or Mark's Squad. Maybe Falworth Force. That sounds silly. Never mind that one. But no, there's got to be some catchy sounding name besides the Mark Fan Club. I think. I don't think it's that hard to change the name. We'll see. I think it can be modified. I'll have to double check the settings again now. So. I like that one, Malister. There you go. Knights of Falworth is good too. Ooh, I like the medieval vibe on that one. I will be watching the replay and comparing notes. Those are some good ones. Well, thank you for the suggestions, everyone. I will be taking them under advisement. Ooh, oh, for a second I thought that was gold. It's a dark tan slope, which I need. But I thought that was a pearl gold at first. And I was like, I haven't seen that slope in pearl gold before. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was building the D&D set a little bit last night, and I was kind of constantly slowing down because I was nerding out over the pieces. I was like, ooh, I haven't seen that color plate before, or that's an unusual shape for that. You know, like, oh, that's new. Or I was always just like stopping, and I didn't get that much built because of it, but it was fun. So. Professor is here. In my opinion, Nexo Knights' biggest issue was its lack of variety. The villain sets were wacky and unique, but didn't pair well with the heroes. By contrast, the hero sets started to get repetitive after Wave 1. You might be right, Professor. I know that it's for me, it's kind of hard to pin down sometimes why Nexo Knights is so repulsive. I think it boils down to being a historical castle fan, too. I like fantasy just as much as like historical, but if you like realistic looking medieval castles, it can kind of be an abomination of sorts. So. Oh, Will Lamb. Good to see you, Will Lamb. Hope you're doing well. We haven't talked about Western yet, but we could. We were talking about adventurers earlier and how it's probably not going to happen. And I think Western is, for the same reason, probably never going to happen again. It's just a little too sensitive of a subject now, I think. And yeah, I think that things have changed. The Wild West isn't as glorified in entertainment as it was back then. So if you need a Western set, you better get it sooner rather than later, because I don't think they're going to be reissuing any of those anytime soon. For some reason, I think they're still kind of underrated or not like seen that often. So, like, you don't see as much Western hype as you think you would, but you still see a lot of Castle stuff. Like, Castle's back, basically. But other classic themes, think Classic Space is now getting its time to shine in the CMFs and stuff. It's interesting. Well, update on the bin. Oh, that's got some echo. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear an echo. Yeah. Getting down to the bottom. We're at 1:15 in stream time. So still got a little bit of time left. I think I can get to about 1:20, 25. And I'll probably pull the plug because I've been talking for an hour. And my voice is starting to get a little tired. And I got to do more stuff tomorrow at work. So. But it has been a fantastic stream so far. Lots of people have shown up. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Thank you for everyone who has liked. Thank you to Morgan for dropping a bunch of gifted memberships. That was awesome. And Malister for joining and other people for joining previously. Really appreciate you guys. That's really good for the algorithm, I'm guessing. And yeah, trying to get these videos out and reach as many people as possible. I want people to see the Tron build that I'm working hard on. I think people will enjoy it. So. I think it's getting a lot of good feedback. So. It's encouraging me to build fast. And I have to, because it's got to be done by basically May 10th. And that's coming up fast. So there's still a lot to do. And then I've got Dune planned immediately thereafter, so that'll keep me busy too. Lots of almost unending Lego content to talk about. So eventually, we'll be filming a probably at least 30 minutes to an hour video here in the studio, covering everything that has changed since we last did it with Justin a couple of years ago. It was in pretty good shape then. That was right after Lego Masters, I think. It was nicely cleaned up. But we've changed a lot since then, and we can document that and cover it on Atlanta Brick Co. That'd be pretty fun. So that'll be coming up soon as well. Probably another week or so once I get things tidied up. And looking forward to Joe and Daniel getting back because, and actually, just because I want to see them, but also because of scheduling at work. Randy and myself have been doing a lot of retail, which is different, and it's fun. But it's also like I haven't really been able to film Between the Studs for next weekend. And just going to be a little crunched on scheduling time. So hopefully we get a few of our people back, our important manager level people back from Orlando soon. We'll see. Let's see. I will see myself out there. You go. I went to Tombstone as well. It took a few rounds to get me to leave. There you go. Let's see. Mitchell Hartley is here. Randomly came across your channel from the algorithm, probably because I love Tron. There you go, Mitchell. That's awesome. If you like Tron, you should check out some of the videos I've uploaded recently. We're working on a giant Tron build that is going to be 8 feet by about 3 feet and about 4.5 feet tall in the tallest building. And it's pretty exciting. I think it's pretty cool. There have been other Tron mock builds. I saw one not too long ago. It was like a big arena with a couple different layers. That was pretty fun. This is kind of leaning away from the sports and the movie plot itself and just kind of covering the environment. So just taking the world of Tron and building a city in it, building the grid. So you can imagine yourself riding your late cycle down the city streets of Tron. It's pretty cool. That's something I would like to do. I want to try out the Disney ride at some point because it looks amazing. I've heard it's not like super long, but it's just a lot of fun. If anyone's been on the Disney ride, let me know how it is. I've never been to Disney, period. So I should probably do that at some point before I'm too old. Always been busy building Lego. Exactly. Willem says, need more likes for Mark to wear the Nexo armor. Okay, for those who don't know, the Nexo armor is something I do for Atlanta Brick Co. TV's channel. Every Friday, I'll do a tour of the store and chat with the chat and answer questions, and it's a great time. But if we get over 35 likes, I think is the current like goal. If we get over 35 likes, then I have to put on the Nexo Knight armor, and I hate Nexo Knights. So that's it's always a frustrating time for me and a hilarious time for the chat who likes to see me suffer. So it's pretty funny. There's plants in there. Blue bricks. A couple of dark blue scorpions in this these pieces. They're pretty cool. Let's show those off. I don't think I've gotten a dark blue one before. I think these came out in Pharaoh's Quest. I think. Nexus isn't here, but otherwise you could correct us on that. But that's pretty cool. Got a lot of black ones from the old Adventurers sets. While Equinox was like, ah! We were at Disney World before the Tron ride opened. Oh no, Morgan! So you haven't been on the Tron ride either. Well, everyone says it's awesome. I think Randy has been on it. She told me about it. I think somebody not too long ago was telling me about it. So because it's Tron related and the most recent Tron related thing happening. But there's increasing kind of rumors and news about the upcoming Tron project that Disney's working on. I guess it's actually a movie. They're making a full Tron movie. It's called Tron Ares, from what I've heard. Starring Jared Leto, Morbius, and I've seen some convincing, like, on-set pictures. Well, not on-set, but, like, off-set, behind-the-scenes at the studio pictures. And I'm like, okay, somebody just photoshopped that, or it's a real photo. It's kind of like the Deadpool photos and the Wolverine photos that came out not too long ago. And I'm like, so it could be great, or it could be terrible. And I'm hoping it's great, because I like Tron. I would like to watch it and enjoy it. And if it's terrible, will that be like I have a bad look on my Tron-related mock? I don't know. I don't think so. It's kind of based off of Tron Legacy, not Tron Ares. We haven't seen anything from Tron Ares. No clips, no trailers, no nothing. So we'll see. But it's I was building this assuming that there wouldn't be any Tron properties other than the ride for a while. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Could be good, could be bad. We'll find out. Either way, I think people will still like seeing the Tron build. I don't think it'll take away too much from it. It would be a big disappointment if it was a weird, bad movie and Jared Leto ruined another one. I think Jared Leto's probably a great actor, but the stuff that I've seen him involved in has not been very impressive. It hasn't done well. So. It's also in Disney World in Florida now. There you go. Yeah, I think Florida would be a lot closer for me because I'm in Georgia. So I'd probably go there and stop by Orlando Brick Co. while I'm going down there too, because I've never visited that store that's now open. But Chris McBricker says, make sure to catch the Disney Castle at sunset, and the second Lego Disney Castle color choice will make even more sense. Yes. So the flesh-colored one, the kind of peachy color, I think is a really cool look. I don't own the new Disney Castle. I probably won't because I have other big sets that I need to buy. But I think it's a big improvement over the original. And I like the original. I actually got that one way back in the day, a couple years ago. But yeah. Well, all these fine pieces are slowing me down a little bit. We're at an hour and 23 of streaming. I think I'm going to try and finish this bin, though. That would be a big accomplishment. I think I've got at least another 5-10 minutes here. We'll see. So I'm going to keep going. Try and get it done. Because if I can get these 3 bins done, that will be more sorting than I thought I could get done in an hour or so. And obviously we're over an hour, but it'll be more sorting than I thought I could get done during this stream. But yeah, I know on the thumbnail I posted a picture of myself going like, ah, and making a face and saying completely sane, very chill. I was thinking, maybe I was feeling a little bit of rage while I was setting up the stream. I don't know why, like a little bit of angst, grumpiness. But today I've been pretty chill. I just kind of slept in, had breakfast, built on TRON. Everything went pretty smoothly. Did my taxes, which was good. I got some back this year, finally. But yeah, so not feeling the rage like I thought it would be, which is good. Kind of chill. I took apart my original Disney castle for parts. Yeah, I took mine apart too a while ago. Dust off the bricks. I'm going to call you Dusty. Yeah, I took mine apart. Has some great pieces, and all those pieces are now in use in all sorts of things, or sorted down. So. I know Steven used the roof pieces a lot, the dark blue roof pieces. They're pretty sweet. So, yes, more sorting. Exactly. We'll be sorting for a while. Rich has actually helped me sort on one time when I had some friends over, and Rich, we were just gonna build some sets, watch TV, chat about Lego, have a good hangout session. And Rich was like, "Can I sort?" I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because Rich has a lot of his own Lego to sort at home, and I'm sure he sorts by part, so he does it differently than I do. If you've never seen Rich's collection, go watch his latest update video on Beyond the Brick. Is pretty cool. But so I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, yeah, I'll sort it for you. I'm like, okay. And he did a great job, but I also just feel bad that somebody's sorting because I like sorting. The older I get, the more I like sorting. I just don't have time for it, so it's kind of the less priority than building or cleaning or doing other stuff. So I was like, "Are you sure?" That's kind of like a not second-rate thing, but just like I felt a little embarrassed that Rich was sorting my Lego, but it was good. He got a lot done. He's pretty fast. And I've done all right this time, about what I thought I could do. This bin of small pieces is, the smaller the piece, the longer it takes. That's how it is. It's enjoyable. There you go. So Rich likes it, so it's good for him. I like it too. I like building more though. So I would be, if I could choose, I would always build, but you know, we got to sort too. This whole bin of black pieces wasn't there before, and almost all of those can be used in TRON, so that's terrific. That's a whole bridge building right there, basically. Lots of useful elements there. That's white, yeah. Sorting relaxes me. There you go. Yeah, from some people hate sorting, but a lot of people like sorting. I think the act of organizing things can be enjoyable. So I used to pretty much loathe sorting. Now I kind of like it. I'm glad it works good for a stream too. What time are we at today? 5:28, not too bad. Steven will get off work at 6. He'll be back home. I don't think he'll be able to tune in or anything though. We'll probably be done by then. There we go. Willem says, "Mark, how did the water get into your Lego building?" That's a great question, Willem. I could talk about the flood. I also talked about it a little bit on the video I posted yesterday, which has already done great because it has a hilarious thumbnail. But the long story short is there was a flood Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. It like really poured, and I was asleep at the time, so I don't really remember much of it. But I went in Wednesday afternoon, and there was water all over the floor, and it had all gone through the door. The roof wasn't leaking. It wasn't leaking through the wall, which I thought it might be. I went up into the attic to make sure that there wasn't any leaks going on. There wasn't any holes in the roof. And thankfully there wasn't, because that's a lot more expensive to replace than baseboards or just clean the floor, which is what I did. And so thankfully seemed to have caught it just in time before it really got bad in there. I still have the dehumidifier, the air filter, and the windows cracked when I can. I don't have the windows open right now because I don't want the audio distracting too much. But yeah, so it's remarkably little problems or damage so far. Me and Steven have both noticed a slightly musty smell in some of the areas, like the corners. But we're just keeping the fans on, and hopefully it'll dry out and go away soon. If not, I can apply some bleach down there and help kind of speed up the cleansing process. So It's not bad, though. It could have been really bad. So. Let's see. Turk of Greenland. That's a fun name. So I like to sort and have to sort. It's much harder to build with sorted bricks than not. It's much harder to build if your bricks aren't sorted. Yes. So easier and mean when sorted. Hard when you just jump bricks. Exactly. If you have a big bin of Lego, it's just you're going to spend a lot of time pawing through trying to find the right size or color. But if you sort it even a little bit, like I do a very basic color sorting, then it helps a lot. So, absolutely agree. Got a lot of Technic pins and 1x1 round plates in here. Cleaning all these up. These little seed size pieces. Nice and tedious, but here we are. So, put those in there. Put the gray in there. Coral. Oh, so these coral pieces remind me of a fun story, I'll tell you guys. How many eyeballs in there? There's a few. Not as many as what you were sorting, Rich, but there's a few. But coral is one of those cool colors that's come out in the last couple of years. And I remember in 2018, when I went to visit the Lego house for the first time as part of winning a prize from Beyond the Brick, got to see the Lego house. I think it was the second or third year it had been open. And we also got in line, conveniently, to go tour the Lego factory there, which is pretty cool. I think you can tour the factory if you set up a tour. I'm not sure how easy it is to get in, but we basically snuck in, end of the line, last people allowed in. It's pretty fun. And we got over there, and we were looking at the machines. We couldn't bring our phones in. They wouldn't let anyone take pictures. But we got to see all the pieces being made, and they said, there's a prototype color that you can't talk about in here, in the pieces. And as soon as we walked in there, I saw a bin full of coral pieces. And it had not been even like, it was not even a thought at that time. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice salmon color you've got there. And the guy giving us tour is like, actually, we call it coral. But yeah, that's the prototype color. Just don't tell anybody. I'm like, got it. And so that was my first interaction with that Lego color before it was introduced. I think it came out in like Friends, maybe some city stuff. Friends is probably the first real use of coral, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think it's a great color. And I love how it's reactive to black light too. So pretty fun. Winning a prize from Beyond the Brick, they should do it again. Yeah, they just said, if you win our set remake contest, we'll take you with us to the Lego house for free. And I'm like, I know Josh and John. I've known them for a number of years. I'm like, I'll enter their contest. Well, it was me and 3 other entries. And I did a pretty nice build of the Black Falcon's Fortress set, but a remake mock. And so that was a nice build at the time. And I won the contest easily because there was only 4 entries, and the other ones were all a bit smaller than mine. So I got a free trip to Denmark. In fact, they actually extended it because they knew me and they knew that I liked historical stuff. So they're like, hey, we're going to Rome for 2 days before we go to Denmark for 10. Would you like to join us there? It's probably cheaper to fly to Rome than it is to Billund. And I'm like, yes, please. So we toured Rome for a couple days too, and that was a blast. So a lot of fun. What a wild ride. Those guys, they are troopers. They can walk an entire city in a day. And I was in very good shape at the time, and I was winded trying to keep up with them. They're travel experts. But that was a cool experience. It's documented on their YouTube channel, actually. You can go look it up. They covered a couple videos of me in Denmark. So that's pretty fun. How much longer, Mark of Falworth? Oh, so it's 1 hour and 33 minutes. We have just a tiny little bit of pieces in there. And I'm guessing another 5 minutes maybe, if I take my time. But not much longer. We'll be done in just a little bit, and then we'll be off to get dinner because we're in Eastern time over here. I don't know what time zone you're watching this from, but hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon/evening. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. and hope you're enjoying a little chat, some good time. Oh, look who woke up. Corey, good to see you, Corey. Hope you're having fun over in Germany. Sounds very romantic. Rome and Billund. Yeah, I know. It was quite the trip, Corey. You should try that tour. Recommended. Yeah, we were me and Joshua were nerding out over touring the Forum, and we were talking about like we were over the burial place of Julius Caesar, right? And they still throw roses and coins and money into the mausoleum area. And we were chatting about the life of Julius Caesar and some of his accomplishments and failings, and it was interesting. So then we went over to the Colosseum, checked it out. It was beautiful weather that trip, and so yeah, couldn't have been any better. It was great. So it was difficult flying over there though, because my flight out of Atlanta was delayed. So I flew to Texas first, over to Houston, which is the first time I had been that far west. And then I flew all the way to Frankfurt, Germany. Then I flew from Germany to the Netherlands. Then I flew from the Netherlands to Rome. So it's about 20 hours of flying, kind of all over the world, to get to where I needed to go. Just because instead of it being from Atlanta to Amsterdam to Rome, it ended up being that extra couple of stops along the way, which was kind of insane. So. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, that was United. So take it or leave it. Cheap flight, crazy experience, many extra steps along the way. Isn't it like 40% of Americans never leave the States? I know people who have never left this state, Georgia. So some Americans just choose not to travel. And I mean, that's fine. It's if you like where you live, you're good. But yeah, I've traveled around a little bit. That was by far the most traveling I've ever done in one stretch. But I've been all the way as far north as the border of Canada, been all the way far south as the tip of the Florida Keys. So very much into the ocean. Farthest west I've ever been is Utah. Went out to Salt Lake City for a convention out there. It was a ton of fun. Utah is insane. There's it's like an alien world. It's so dry. There's all these big mountains and craters and stuff. It looks like you're on Mars. I kid you not. And then I think the farthest east I've been is Frankfurt, Germany. So fun. There's still a lot of other places I'd like to visit, though. I kind of want to visit California at some point. See what all the hype's about and what that nice weather's like. Yeah, there's some other middle of the country states I'd like to visit. Like I'd like to visit some of the national parks and stuff. But I'm also pretty happy in Georgia. I keep myself busy building Lego. So I don't know if there's a ton of time for traveling. We'll see. I know Steven would like to visit some of those ancient places like Rome or Athens or Egypt. We'll see how that works. Egypt might be not as accessible now as it was in the past. So we'll see about that. But just a few more pieces, guys. We're almost there. Final stretch. Morgan needs one more sip on his drink. Then we can call this stream a success. Just a few more little bitty seed parts. Lots of little, I call them, these aren't mixel-eyes. Yeah, they're mixel-eyes. Mixel-eyes. The 1x1 tiles with eye prints in white. They're just getting dumped because I got so many of them. Some black pieces, some teal. I was so happy when they reintroduced teal. Phil's glass. There you go, Morgan. We're almost there. Just a few more pieces. Another few minutes. I'm moving at my own pace. My own slow pace of sorting. A lot of white cones. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these cone pieces. We've got about 100 more pieces in here, and they're all seed, tiny size, and my big fingers. Cross Airborne Custom says, I've got about 19 clones, Mark the Falworth, with more on the way. Get a quote? Oh, yes. We've got 100, was it 200,000 clones and a million more well on the way? Yeah, I've got about 40 clones of various legions. Not too many, but not too bad. Nice little bag of clone troopers. I think I have a couple stormtroopers too. I like the Mandalorian show a lot, or the first 2 seasons are really good. This last season, the 3rd season, is not the best, but I still watched it. It was fine. I bought some Star Wars sets after watching that because the Slave one was pretty cool. Wanted to get the anniversary edition of that, and then I got an ATTE so I can get the 212th Troopers, and Commander Cody looks super cool, so I got that one. And then 501st Battle Pack, Phase 2 Clone Trooper Battle Pack, the Ahsoka Trooper Battle Pack. I don't know what the exact Legion number is for that one. I think it's 133rd. Is that right? Somebody let me know. But then, and then a couple Mandalorian figures. I like the Mandalorian armor and stuff, so I got as many Mandalorian characters as possible. I don't have a pre-Vizsla figure because that one's he's like 250, I think, maybe more. Maybe 400, but he's either 200 or 400. I forget. He's very expensive. Still just a few little pieces left. Almost there. We're at about 70 pieces in there. Last few pieces. But this stream has been a tremendous success. A bunch of people tuned in. We have 40 people watching, 35 likes. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't liked already, go ahead and drop a like. That's a lot more people that showed up than I expected this to. I thought this might be a little bit quieter stream because we're sorting Lego. It's maybe not as exciting as building a set for some people, but thank you all for tuning up, saying hi, chatting in the comments. It's great to chat with you all so much. And we'll be doing this again for sure. If Sunday afternoon works for people, it's actually a good time for me because I'm off of work and have a little time to sort some Lego. So this might be the regular time moving forward. We'll see. I want to have it a consistent time and be diligent about it and be consistent about it because if you're consistent with your YouTube videos on YouTube, the algorithm really picks up on that and it helps a lot. So that's why we do a lot of things the same time every week on Atlanta Brickco TV. It does seem to help a bit. But yeah, this has been fun so far. Just a few pieces left. We're almost there. Wrapping it up. See if there's any last comments. Good chat, Turk of Greenland. Thank you for joining. Still think that's a hilarious name. You have to tell me the story sometime. Or if it's just a random pick name. Some names are random and they make great names. So. Let's see. I have to think about 150 stormtroopers. Morgan, that's awesome. Are they all different types? Or are they all like the same type, like an army? Because if you want to get every unique variant of stormtrooper, that would be a lot of stormtroopers. Because they've made a bunch of different styles of stormtroopers. There's sand troopers, rebels style troopers, newer ones, old ones, everything in between. Tali? I can't pronounce things. Toa says, I have 20 of the new style Phase 2 clones. I think I have a few handful of the older clones, but I don't think they mix well. Yeah, I think there's a difference with the helmet holes and not. Yeah, there's a little bit of a appearance difference there, but I think any clones you collect, you're still doing good because I think they're just super useful. So, alrighty. Last few non-white pieces being pulled out. A little bit of gold over there. And I get to put all these colors back into their respective color sorted areas. There we go. A little bit of Technic, a little bit of green. And that is the final bin of the stream today. So Morgan can take his sip, and I will too, if my voice is tired. But it is now 5:45 Eastern time. It's been an hour and 45 of streaming. And thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. we'll be doing this again. I think it might be next Sunday. We'll see. Sunday afternoons work good for me, and it seems to work good for a lot of people watching. Don't forget to like on your way out. And if you haven't already subscribed, it really helps. There's a lot of cool videos coming out. If you enjoyed the stream, we'll be doing it again soon. And yeah, appreciate you all so much. I'm going to end the stream, going to have some dinner. And you guys enjoy the rest of it, the remainder of your weekend, and hope you have a good week moving forward. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.